has an arm guard. Both carries so safe for Gen.G.
Oh, Canyon just going to make his way in as now UCal has to flash to get himself out of the way. G slowed down so he cannot get into the fight. And Andal, he's tanking up so much, but there's no one to follow up. Rich this time couldn't make his way in despite having flash up and available. And now it's Willa that's in a lot of trouble. They do find that fantastic shockwave, but it's just not enough. Keen gets in there. Chovy gets the Emperor's Divide, which will turn UCal golden. But unfortunately, that does not avoid death. That's a clean ace. And Gen.G are just going to run over them. They had a few extra members there. But now Dura's actually going to go for this, as now UCal could be in trouble. The flash out of the way from the Tempered Fate means that UCal is just dead, and Willa tries to get back towards that side of the players. Okay, Duro, straight underneath the turret, is actually surviving for a very long time and uses the Rift Herald to get himself to safety. Willa is going to be ran over by the Rift. What the heck was those coach comps? They go into Duro's ear and say, all right, can you just pilot the Rift Herald to murder someone as you are almost definitely going to go down, and then watch Ruler get a solo kill in the mid lane.
And then turn around and grab the kill. The Ruler's just making a highlight reel over here.
Yeah, he is. Willa might be able to kill him. He did have the barrier available, though. There's a Cataclysm avoided, and Ruler outplays him to pick up the double solo. Rich is going to turn up, and that's going to make it too hard. So, I mean,
recency bias means my prediction is Ruler's going to get it, because, I mean, watch this.
I mean, he does this, right?
Yeah.
And that might be enough just to get it regardless. Man, that was a sick outplay. What was that, is what he said. As Ruler does one shot towards that turret to do 1 billion damage to it. Willa almost just dies as an afterthought. As in goes Canyon, finds the Cyclone, and down goes Willa. Now Ruler is moving forward. Tempered Fate does not find him, but Petrifying Gaze, it does. Public Execution gets right in amongst it, as it's a double for Ruler so far. Chovy grabbing a kill himself. And man, this Ruler guy is pretty good at this video game. 17, 2, and 6. And finally, Gen.G will put DRX out of their misery.
Trying to gank top, and Zeus does not have flash. So
yeah, I mean, this Realm Warp play could absolutely work.
Trying to beat him in. There's the Realm Warp, and an easy lineup for Doran to set it up. And Faker with the gank in the top lane. Zeus trying to turn it here on the Doran. It's not going to...
They're coming. They know they're coming, but there's nothing they can do to stop the siege. They're like, all right, I can see you're coming, and now...
Owner puts up the shield, but again, the CC lasts for too long. He does flash away and actually does live. Lots of damage is going on in, as now Doran accesses the backline, and the follow-up from Faker is right there. They've got Pays, they have the front line, and HLE are just routed. They go a little bit too deep, trying to kill a Pantheon, and they are going to pay the iron price for it. Kanavi by himself behind everyone. He is absolutely dead. And T1 turn this game on its head. Time makes sense. Owner's like, oh, hello. So they're going to have a little bit of a skirmish here, a one-on-one. Which mid laner gets here first? Looks like they're here at the exact same time. And going to respect the Xin Zhao, looks like, or maybe not quite enough, as the chain's not going to predict, as the flash comes late, and now Owner has to flash away, double flash in, as Kanavi desperate to kill that Xin Zhao, but he just cannot, and Delight follows, double kill given over to Faker at 3 minutes into the game.
They see a window, they've got the right gun set up for Pays, they take it out. Hanwha Esports trying to trade back a turret, but it doesn't look like they're necessarily even going to get that. The satchel's been changed.
Owner's going in, and there's really no recourse for this. The satchel does come out, but unfortunately that's going to leave Kanavi to the Wolves, as in goes Faker and does the burst damage. I think they're just way too far ahead at this point. The chain's once again going to miss, but Faker will not be stopped. Does get denied the Quadra, but does pick up the triple.
Set up the combo again with a stock from Orianna. Spell shield out.
Owner in a very awkward spot, but he's able to dodge quite a lot and survive. The whole team is in there. He has to go in. There's no combo with Faker just yet, holding on to that shockwave. As in goes Doran. Nice little knock-up from Zeus, but it does look like T1 are still in a good position. Zeus has to get out as the flash in over the wall. Doran getting in there onto Kanavi, and should eventually be able to win this one, especially with the help from his team. And Doran just going to collect. Delight's here. And it is going to be Delight, and Kanavi coming in from the jungle. There's the big sweep, as everything being thrown at Faker, and they will get it done. But now Owner, pretty fed in his own right, able to take the one kill. And here comes Doran, the real threat on the team, as Zeus desperately trying to deal the damage into Owner. There's the ult forward, gonna try to get into the Rift Herald, not quite able to, but does summon it as Pays and Guma make their way over, but Guma already pretty low. And that's gonna force HLE back with the Rift Herald also pushing.
I mean, this is just not a win for Hanwha at all. They end up trading even, but the charge comes through, Sakali shows up, and they even get an additional plate on top of the charge. And there's just no angle here. They're looking for Pays. Oh, just a bit too short.
I mean, that was never going to work out. It feels like HLE are clutching at straws as Doran trying to flash and take out Guma. Instead, he'll have a slice to Zeus and a slice to Guma. And on top of it all, takes out Kanavi, takes them all 3 down. And now Doran 5-0 in this game.
Doesn't find the flick back as the wall is now going to dissipate. As Duro wants to get in there. Equalizer goes down. Not a lot of joy with that one as there is Ghost being cleansed quite nicely as, oh, they're into the blender. Chovy gets into the backline and Ruler takes down the cow. But look at these health bars. Mel, Gen.G somehow keep themselves alive as the carries from KT, they just couldn't finish anyone off. BDD's taken out and there is Keen with the burn. It is somehow, theoretically, there is the ability.
Oh,
Polar! Oh, he lived! Okay! Flash and try! Oh, never mind. Burn is just going to murder him. What the heck was that? That was a very weird interaction. Never you mind, as now Gen.G with a man advantage, but Canyon's very, very low. There's Mega Inferno Bomb as well as they're trying to do the damage here to Ruler. Oh my goodness, the CC is disgusting, but BDD does get a fair bit of damage down. Perfect, unfortunately, not able to do enough, and Gen.G just so good. T1 now looking to close in, 4v4 around this Drake. Let's see whether Ona can get in and try and steal this one away. Looks like Willer is committed. He is going to be able to take it there. As now Ona with another decent spell shield. It's Faker! Will find 2 with the Empress Divider. Now turns his attention to Andil as Gio is still free hitting. A lot of damage now onto Ona and to Paze, who are split up from the rest of the team. The dash from Gio was so sexy, but it's Paze that takes him down. Willer needs one more auto. He'll get it and takes down Ona as well. It's a double as Yukel's in the back of the pit. Carrier with the blade to try and take it down, and somehow it's a triple kill for this Xin Zhao.
I mean, okay, this is a crazy journey.
That is a magical journey as they're into the blender. Down goes Andil, immediately punished for that one as the paranoia comes on through. Willer trying to keep himself alive there as Rich just goes golden and then goes dead. Now Faker finds the Empress Divide. Yukel's going to flash it, but Jiu, he's still going to take so much damage. Doran uses the ulti to gap close. That was cute as it's a triple for Paze. And there is the end of the game. As the mist can be very problematic. He puts it down now as they look to try and get rid of this turret first. Scat of the Week does come in. There's the culling as Doran goes golden, but they just take down the turret. In the meantime, teleports coming in from everywhere, and Ona from over the wall. Jiu able to dash out of the way again from some more buttons, but it's not going to be enough to keep him alive. Willer is also limping out of the fight. Yukel takes down Faker though. TRX, the rest of them are just melting. Ona gonna grab a double. Doran dashing towards Yukel to get rid of him again. Rich, oh my goodness, that burst damage absolutely insane as Doran diving on in. Willer looks for the angle, great handshake onto the Vice. Doran thrown around like a ragdoll. Great use of the body slam, but Doran should still be able to kill him. He goes golden just to buy some space, but Yukel's dead. Both solo lane is down, and T1 have decided that it's time to win as Giu not able to keep himself alive this time. Well, Diablo is not quite there just yet, but he might be able to get there in time for the fight as Canyon down to 50%, but the Baron is down to 5,000. All right, in comes the Pantheon. He dives on top, but the bubble is waiting for him, and Raptor is going to be eviscerated. The Aegis is not quite enough. Empress Divide hits the air, though, and now Vikla, it's his turn to start something. Diablo's shown up, though. They're trying to peel for him. Into the backline goes, oh my God! How dare you do it again, Canyon! Druid can't take too many more of these Qs, as Canyon looking to get that knock up onto Kellen. He does have the Solar Flare, connects it, and actually lasts a long time with the help of the Eclipse, but Wind becomes lightning, enough to take him down. From Chovy to deliver him in, and now Raptor is going to show up. Kellen is likely to go down, but there is the public execution. True Shot Barrage is avoided by Chovy and Canyon beautifully, and now Duro with the quickness just says sit down, and Chovy will take him out.
Yeah, he's trying to get that engage going as Palu, and well, it wasn't much of anything, as now the Cyclone is going to go down, and a massive Doran to the wall! Doran wants to end this game right here, right now, and I think he just did. As Perfect on the run, but he should be the fourth Dominus. Procced already, but the rest of the team is so far away, and now aiming is all by his lonesome is going to flash away, but the Realm Warp is coming in, and Faker wants to continue to actualize on this team. The exhaust is there, aiming is down, and the denial on the wall getaway from BDD is really going to put the nail in the coffin on this game number 1. 15-5 the kills.
You know, that recall was a great call, Perfect. You just did.
He is going to get rooted up. BDD on the flank here. Very nice angle, but they are going to spot him. The engage comes in from Doran, aiming. is kind of just out of their pace. Mikhails comes in, a big sweep from Faker, but the wallets are so heavy as Owner gets the Elder Drake. They're down 13K. How are they winning?
There's no way. There's no way.
He just killed Amy. There's no way. Okay, Owner's just going in, and BD will be able to get away.
It's tight timing.
All right, they're trying to make it a game here because it's just going to go down. Just gets burnt as he tries to engage straight into an Aphelios and just dies. And now we got a flash on in the engage as the Aphelios ult is going to miss, but Ghost is also going to miss. BDD goes Sonya's on the backside. He can't do the damage. Pace is alive. And now Doran is killing, aiming in the back line. Who goes into the GA? And now they just keep one guy at home, and they end the game.
They just won this Elder. A soul that they would be fighting for is okay. There's a public execution right on top of Ruler as Xiu, still pretty healthy, is now Keen. Diving on forward, they get rid of Xiu though, and Ruler is going to survive. So it's not exactly working out here for D+. As now Showmaker running around trying to avoid the skill shots, but he can't do any damage. The Gwen will finally go down. Showmaker lasts a lot longer than I think a lot of people expected, but that's 3 dead for 1. As teleport is very short here for the Gwen. As Xiu goes in, so does Lucid though. Great Cataclysm is Tempered Fate to hold Gen.G in position, buying time for Keen as best they can. But Chovy going to go down as the Ambassador dancing around the fight. Canyon so close to dead, but Korea can't do anything about it, and he's going to get taken out. Into the backline goes the Jarvan. Yeah, well, let's see.
Duro can deny them entry easily.
Lucid is level 11, so he is pretty scary. And now Xiu is ulting his way forward. Duro might be his target, as there he is, able to crash his way in. That is going to be the steal over to Lucid, but is he going to pay for it with his life? That's the question. The Cyclone comes down. Scatter the Weak is fantastic as Lucid. He can flash the wall, but he's also got a Vault Breaker as Xiu is going to die, and I don't think the eye is going to go over to DK. Zombie Scion could have tried to get there, but instead he is just going to be taken out. So it is just going to be the Rift Herald. Yeah.
As the Diadem into Moonstone. So much healing.
There's the flash taunt here. Gets a lot of flashes out of DK. Xiu is going to show up as well. Smash trying to get some autos down and is actually able to get a little bit of work done as Chovy's interrupted. This might be a kill as there's that Arc of Ruin that you were talking about before, but the flash in from Keen, the Inar overstepped, and it's a heroic entrance now from Chovy. Scatter the Weak is fantastic out of Showmaker, but I just don't know whether it's going to be enough here as DK are circling the drain.
Gonna have to hold that thought as this time Carrier just flashes away, but now Vikla goes over to the left side of the wall, instantly dies, gives the shutdown to Pays, and that's exactly the mistake T1 were looking for as the Equalizer gets big damage and might push them back, but it didn't hit Faker, who is leading the charge now as Kellen is going to go down. Triple kill for Pays as T1 just like that, one mistake, and they're ahead of the game. Just Diablo trying to step up to them, and Pays says no. They turn out to the Zonyas though, that's not going to work, but they're able to front to back in here with Faker in the front, the tank of the team. Clear gets a ton of damage, but more importantly, he dies, and the rest of his team is so low. They get the catch here on a Raptor in the back line. And Vikla, nice shove back. And does do a lot to him. The Equalizer also only really going to hit Faker. Meanwhile, we got the G8 proc here as Pays takes down the Nico, and Raptor bites the dust as well. They were desperate to enter into this Elder pit, and instead they end up taking it
for the Elder.
Yep.
Raptors to try and make this happen. 12,000, 10,000 health.
Oh, Doran has the angle here. Going to chunk Kellen. Nearly gets hit by the Aphelios, and the Moonlight Vigil also going to be dodged, but Diablo has to step up. He's not quite able to, though. Taking it slowly. Raptor looking for the steal. It's a flip. It goes to Owner. And this guy does not lose.
How does it keep happening?
It doesn't make any sense. They can't keep getting away with this. No position on it, really. No vision. And now Carrier's just going for a little walk here. That's a bunch of damage. Exhaust helps out a little bit.
Not enough.
Not enough. And T1, they're just kind of sending it. In goes Pays. Going to assassinate Vikla. This Kaisa is kind of out of control now as Faker also going to dodge a Q and gets away with his life. And Diablo left by his lonesome, definitely not in his wheelhouse anymore. Just Mystic shots? Yeah. Nothing else, like no W.
Just Mystic shots.
Essence Flux. They're going to engage on a carry. That's a big roll on top of everyone, but even better Temper Fate. Although the angle here from Raptor gets into the backline. Pays, though, is going to get out alive as he hops the wall. And the real carry all along was Doran. The double kill for the Cassante. Flash on him from Owner. And they're right in B&K's wheelhouse as T1 are pushing.
No, it's not magic missile. That's an orb.
No, I know, but
Inner flame. It is inner flame.
oh, it is inner flame. Nobody calls it that.
Oh,
Career's
so
just dead. And Owner, easy pickup for him. Just rooted into the flag and drag, and now Smash going to be forced to flash away. Might still die here, as tons of damage is coming out. The flash fourth shot gets the job done.
And Carrier
lives. Smash. It is going to take a little while to take this Baron down, and that's really the hope here, as Lucid is the target. They're just going to turn onto him. And we'll see if they have enough damage within that, as Pay's holding on to his shots for quite a while. And this type of Baron does do quite a lot of damage, as Ingo's Faker trying to trade on the Career, gets Lucid, and immediately goes golden. And Lucid eventually will go down. Showmaker desperately trying to do something, but is incredibly low, and that's just going to leave Smash out to dry as he gets shot down by the Jhin. Showmaker also gets baited into it. Xiu respawns, TPs, and it's already over.
Up the Baron. Deeple's trying to approach.
All right, they use that combo, but Carrier's got this angle on the right side, and that's going to be the end of Showmaker. Lucid not long for the world either, as the one-man Emperor's Divide does catch Xiu. And yeah, T1, they bait them into yet another fight here. Career respawns and doesn't hit a match or Q. And it's feeling pretty doomed for DK in this one. And maybe now they can take the Baron. Just kind of flounder and do nothing. T1 is not going to be that team. We know about the T1 Barons. They're going to go for it. Doran is trying to get on top of Lucid, who does actually get in the pick just to not get the smite and just die. As now we got the Realm Warp on in. Faker is frontlining. And Showmaker again, you know, he puts the wall down, gets flashed over. There's no setup here for DK, and they're just being run around the rift, as this should be Smash going down on top of it all. Faker picks up another one. And Xiu's just over here in mid lane trying to run away. And eventually he's going to be going down. It's just kind of a disaster of a game at this point, as T1 has run away with this one in a big way after that last team strong, but I think this is a different feel today. As Carrier is going to go in, we got the teleport coming in. T1 is up 8,000 gold, and they're going to pull the trigger here with the Baron, as everybody is just being rolled over. She was like, please, I want to do something in this backline, but his whole team is dead. And that's going to be the end of that. The Grim Deliverance comes in. It's all got away. By the way, the Maiden just went down, so there is that. So now we got a fight coming in here. Owner's just going to go in on the Career. I don't know if that was the best idea this time around, but it's okay. He gets low. The chains go down on the Lucid. Showmaker nearly dies to Doran, but he does get away. And now Faker trying to join on in. Lucid's still alive. And kind of a concave here for the side of T plus Kia. Faker getting kited down. Oh, the arrow! The pyro gonna just go through the Galio, kind of hidden there. As he runs in a straight line, the bubble gonna catch Carrier. Maybe the spear gets him, as Lucid is on the right side, and they're nearly able to take out a couple of those guys there on the side of DK. And really, it's just Payne.
Oh no, the Nami!
He's just walking forward, and nobody can deal with this guy. Oh no! Run! Nah, he's dead. Accepted his fate. I mean, he's got GA up. But this is about to get very interesting. They're going to try to kill him and burst down the Baron while he's dead. And there it is. Even the smite goes to 15. It doesn't matter. T1 playing with their food. And DK thought this was their opportunity to come back. But in fact, it was just T1's to close the game out.
Oh, he tries to flash away.
No.
Oh no.
No Career. Buttons really wants to use that to try and go for an engage, but Chovy snaps back towards this Rift Herald down to about 4,000. As we're going between the worlds, Keen is still very dangerous, and Zayas just getting poked down. Kanavi steals away the Rift Herald, but it's a 4-man pop blossom from Duro. He finds the angle, and Keen locks down to Light. Now Zayas going down solo. Empress Divide finds Ruler, but he flashes on top of Gumayushi. A gap closing, a zero ultimate. Are you insane, Ruler? And it's a double kill for Canyon. There's that team fight, and it's an ace for Duro. Oh, Duro looking for that angle between worlds goes Keen, as Zayas looking to just walk up, and they have to because this Baron's going down lower and lower. There's the quickness, but Delight is just stopped in his tracks, just shot down here by Ruler as the Crescent Guard does nothing. Chovy finds the ulti, and the flash in once again to take down Gumayushi. No
Dragon.
Yep, Quadra, Cloud Souls. Kanavi goes in. Okay, looking for a little bit of an angle. There's the Pop Blossom, picks up 3 of them. The Inara is down. Let's see whether Gen.G will have the damage. And Gumayushi will be taken out. It's a double kill for the Auroras. Chovy will be wiped out, but Keen's at full health. Can he get the rest of them? It looks like he might be, as there's the Quadra, and it's only Zayas left standing. And I don't think he's making it out. Pentakill for Keen here, and Gen.G.
Ruler in a good position here. They
The
catch
flash
Delight.
comes out. We'll find a lot of damage. The dancing grenade does come on forward, so Delight's engage. A little bit muted now as Duro just moving up, wandering towards them as Keen is also on a decent angle. That is the steal from Cannon. He finds it this time, and Delight also takes a nap. Heroic entrance to join Keen here, who just hops on top of Gumayusi to take him out. Kanavi finds himself surrounded by bad guys, and Ruler just walks away from Zeus. And now Zeker is in trouble. The curtains have been called, and Zeus realizes he has to block it, and it doesn't even matter.
He might die now
Deadly
too.
Flourish now is the end of this Renekton. And as soon as I say it, Gen.G just decide, no, we still are going to win that team fight. That puts us in position to win the game. All right, HLE, let's try and get in there as okay. That is Zeus just taking way too much damage. Keen trying to get that Navarre in order as Gumayusi's going to get put into the Tempered Fate. Magnet Storm to try and buy some time, and they dive on top of the Misfortune, and she's wiped out before she can press any buttons. Gen.G, I think they may have just done it again. The flash forward, Q1, 2, and 3. Is it going to come on in? That is the Meep Slap to slow him down. He's got another round of Qs, and Zeka is limping out of the way. Finally, Canyon locks it up. And it was looking like we were timing this game to see whether HLE could win. Starfall is actually not available as Canyon did manage to stop the back. The play is so good though to deny. Petrifying Gaze doesn't do the most work, but Keen gets to Gumayusi into the backline, but he does flash his way out. The problem is though, his range is too low. It's a triple kill for Ruler, and Gumayusi cannot do anything by himself in this bottom lane with an angry conductor looking to take him down. Breathe some fire. Look at that skin. Isn't it just fantastic? As Keen will be able to demonstrate it one more time in the POM view that we will get later on today.
I don't know. It's crazy. Keen got his first career Penta, and yet my vote finger still kind of gets drawn to the support vote again here.
Oh, and we have the dangerous double support English desk as well at the space. Oh dear, Ruler almost dies to that turret, but it's looking like that 3-0 that everyone was dreading. And HLE, this was their final game.